From the beautiful Tarble Arena on the campus of Carthage College in beautiful Kenosha, Wisconsin, it is the championship game of the Honda of Kenosha Classic this afternoon as the Carthage College Redmen entertain the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Hello again, everyone. John Weiser with you. Glad you're along for Redmen basketball this afternoon. Carthage off to their best start at 4-0. That is their best start since 2013-14. And they're looking to go to 5-0 for the first time since the 2001-2002 Final Four season. Redmen have racked up 4 straight wins, including victories over Beloit, Greenville, 133-126, UW-Oshkosh, the big upset on Tuesday night, 64-57, and dispatching Finlandia University last night in the first round of the tournament, 122-64. 21 different Redmen players got into the ball game and played at least 2 or more minutes in that contest last night. The Redmen were led by Keenan Baltimore, 23 points. He had 5 rebounds and 7 assists. Jordan Kodrowski, 18 points, including 6 rebounds and 5 assists. And Sean Johnson, had this been a normal game, probably would have had a triple-double. He had 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 blocks in that contest against Finlandia. Finlandia lost in the consolation game here to Aurora, and the final in that one was 110-66, or 110-98, I should say, in overtime here today. So the Redmen come in averaging better than 100 points per game, hitting 58% from the field, 39% from the three, and they are averaging 46 boards per game. And they are a +9 on the glass here in the early part of this season. That's really part of the reason why this Redmen team is at 4-0, is they have done a better job all around getting contribution on the glass. And the unselfishness. Last night alone, 34 assists handed out by the Redmen on their 49 made baskets last night. So that has been an impressive stat, and that needs to continue to go on for this Redmen team. Jordan Kodrowski, 19 points. He is the team's leading scorer. Keenan Baltimore hitting 58% from the three, and leading rebounder has been Sean Johnson at 11.5 per game. He is also averaging 4 blocks per contest as well. Their opponent today is the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology Fighting Engineers, and they're out of Terre Haute, Indiana. It's a team that's 2-1 on the season. They're coming off a 17-9, 13-5 season a year ago in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. And in their first 3 games, they defeated Oakland City College 98-90, lost to the DePaul Tigers 66-61, and defeated Aurora last night by 1, 84-83. It was in that contest last night that it was Zach Callahan's 2 free throws with 5 seconds left, and they were able to defend a 3-pointer at the buzzer to pick up that win. Callahan had 23 points. He was 8 for 11 from the field. He had a pair of rebounds and a couple of assists. The other player that to keep an eye on tonight will be Craig McGee. He had 1 rebound shy of a triple-double last night. McGee, 19 points, 9 boards, and 12 assists in that contest. Incidentally, McGee is really one of their 2 returning starters to keep an eye on here tonight. McGee averaging 17 points per game, 53% from the field coming into this tournament. And he was selected this season as the D3 News preseason All-America honorable mention. He is also last year's winner of the D3Hoops.com Great Lakes Freshman Player of the Year in 2018. He's coming off a campaign that saw him average under 13 points and 6 rebounds per game. He also had 5 assists per contest. He has been named to the Heartland Conference All-Conference First Team the last 2 seasons in a row. And he is leading the team, as I mentioned, at 18 points a game and 7.7 boards per contest. He's averaging almost 7 assists, and he is getting 1 steal per contest. So he is living up to his preseason billing, and it's going to be a chore here today for the Redmen to defend him. And we will find out how that will work here in just a couple of minutes when we talk with Mosko Jurikovic. Zach Callahan is the other player to keep an eye on tonight. Callahan, as I mentioned, with 23 points in that contest last night, and he is going to be one of those players to keep an eye on inside for this Engineer team. At 6'7", he is going to be one of those players to keep watch on inside, along with Trey Wirtz. Wirtz also 6'7" junior forward, averaging 12.5 per contest out of Cold Spring, Kentucky. So this will allow a chance now to see how this tandem of Johnson and Perry playing together will work out in a situation where you've got the two bigs going at the same time. So we shall see how that plays out here today. As I mentioned, the Redmen at 4-0, off to their best start since the 13-14 campaign, and they can get to 5-0 for the first time since the Final Four year. That was 2001-2002. That was the year the team finished 28-2 and claiming third place out of that Final Four. That tough loss to Otterbein in what should have been the championship game in the Division III that year, but it wasn't meant to be. But what a run. And it's fresh in my mind. That was the first season, yours truly, calling Redmen basketball on the radio. So that still has a very, very soft spot in the heart of Mr. John Weiser. When we come back, we'll visit with head basketball coach Bosko Jurkovic, get his thoughts on tonight's ballgame. Big one here to get for the Redmen as they take on Rose-Hulman. We'll have those comments for you coming after this 60 break. This is Redmen basketball on AM 1050 WLIP. Halftime.
Welcome back to the second game of the Honda of Kenosha Classic today. The championship matchup between the Carthage College Redmen and the Rose-Hulman Engineers, joined now by head basketball coach Bosko Jurkovic. And a nice win last night, but stakes get a little bit tougher here today. A little different opponent, a little different style of play here, and intensity is going to be up just a scooch here today.
Absolutely. Rose-Hulman's an excellent basketball team. They really play the game correctly. They share the ball nicely. They run offense very, very cleanly, and they've got several people who can score the basketball. So this is going to be a challenge this afternoon. They're a good team from a good league, and it's a matter of doing what you're supposed to do.
They're probably their biggest player, their guard, Craig McGee, preseason All-American honorable mention by D3 News. Had a great game yesterday against Aurora. 19 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists. A rebound short of a triple-double.
Very solid basketball player. He's not a wow guy. He's not going to blow by and dunk the ball, but he handles it well, he attacks the rim well, and he's an excellent passer.
Who draws that assignment here early on tonight?
More often than not, it'll be our point guards. And again, I think if you looked at our first 4 games, we're better defensively at this stage than we are offensively, and hopefully that'll be the case again tonight. We protect the rim well because of our size, but our perimeter people, Kidrowski and Best and Cook, have all been very solid defensively.
Another solid game from your post players. Keenan with 23 last night. Sean Johnson had a solid game too. I think kind of lost in the shuffle there a little bit. He's been consistent. I think, 46 boards now in the first 4 games, averaging double figures in that category coming in.
Last night was an interesting game because of the score of the game. He couldn't play the minutes that he normally does. He could have very well had a triple-double with block shots because I think he had 6 and played 21 minutes. But very good basketball player, continues to get better, and that's always fun to see. Becoming better offensively. He's always been a great shot blocker, and now he's rebounding the ball with a little bit more abandon, and we need that.
A little more confidence, and I talked about the added weight that Kudrowski has put on. I think Sean has done a little bit more work in the gym off season as well.
Well, it's interesting because if you look at Kudrowski, you can see it. If you look at TJ Best, you can see it. Sean's done it subtly, but he's probably put on 25 pounds since he's been here, and there's still more room with his frame to get bigger and stronger, and hopefully he'll do that between now and next year.
Confidence a key too. I think the game has come to him now, and he is more comfortable in his role.
Without question, he's really become a force on both ends of the floor. When he first came here, as we've talked about several times, he was never the focal point on outstanding high school teams he played on. They were really good, Final 8 in the state, but he was third option, fourth option. Then he came here and he kind of has grown and morphed into better and better player, and now he's a comfortable player on both ends of the court.
It's a good team. I like this team in the sense that after the ball game last night, everyone was focused on this one here today.
I think that's the case. We're going to find out. It's a long season. We play these games all the way, hopefully, into March. But this is a focused basketball team. I think they understand that they have a chance to be very good. And when that carrot's out there, I think a lot of times your focus is going to be better. Your team play is going to be better.
Intensity-wise, this is a key game, too, because after today now, almost a 10-day break between now and the start of conference play, first Wednesday in December against North Central.
Next two games are North Central here at Illinois Wesleyan. So two very difficult conference ball games are the next things on the docket. So this is something you take with you for your 10-day break. Obviously, we practiced during that time, but there's a big difference between 4-1 and 5-0. And we've got a shot to be 5-0 for the first time in a while. Let's take advantage of it this afternoon.
Keys for a victory.
Continue to defend the way we have for the first four. Be a good offensive team as far as sharing the ball. Last night we had 34 assists. That's unusual for any game. If we do a good job offensively, we'll win this game.
Good luck.
Thanks, Johnny.
Head basketball coach Bosko Jurkovic joining us on our pregame. Carthage getting set to take on Rose-Hulman out of Terre Haute, Indiana. We will have the starting lineups and the tip-off of this afternoon's game for you next, right here on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP.
Well, the Barnes & Noble Carthage College Bookstore is your headquarters for Carthage logo wear. Right now it's the pre-holiday sale, 25% off all Champion brand Carthage logo wear. And shopping is very easy to do. Simply go to carthage.bncollege.com and place your order. Free ground shipping or pick it up in the store located inside the Campbell Student Union. Holidays are approaching, so get started on your shopping list now. Carthage.bncollege.com. That's Carthage.bncollege.com. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena, getting set for the championship game of the Honda of Kenosha Classic here at Carthage, the annual Carthage-Redmond basketball tournament. Big thank you to Honda of Kenosha for picking up the title sponsorship of our games this weekend. Corey Wilson, the general sales manager over there at Honda of Kenosha, a very nice job coming through with that. And former player, Bosko, big Carthage supporter, and we appreciate the efforts and all that they do over there in Honda of Kenosha over there on I-94 and Highway 50. We thank you for the sponsorship again. And if you're just out and about looking to come in, we're about 5 minutes away from tipping this one off. Got some beautiful Honda vehicles out there in the front, and chance for you to come on in and enjoy some Division III college basketball. Division III football this afternoon. The football playoffs getting underway at the Division III level, and a couple of representatives from the CCIW in action, as it was Wheaton knocking off Martin Luther this afternoon, Final in that one, 51-7. North Central also in action. They hosted Wabash, and it was the Cardinals over the Little Giants, 51-15, the final in that one. And so as the brackets move out, Wheaton advances into the second round. They will take on Central of Iowa. In overtime, defeated UW-Oshkosh today, 38-37. Central scored on their first possession of overtime as the game was tied at 31. Scored the touchdown, kicked the extra point. It was 38-31. Oshkosh on their first possession scored the touchdown, opted to go for two. Andy Cerrone going for two, failed. Central advancing over Oshkosh today, 38-37 in overtime. So Wheaton most likely will host Central next Saturday. Meanwhile, North Central, with their 51-15 win over the Little Giants, have a little bit of a problem. They got to go out to play Mount Union. They will take on the Purple Raiders, who knocked off Hanover 65-14 today. So it'll be the Cardinals and the Purple Raiders in the second round of the D3 football playoffs next Saturday. College basketball this afternoon in Division III. The Lady Reds made the trip up to Ripon to take on the Red Hawks. And it was the Ripon Red Hawks pulling away at the end, knocking off Carthage 57-54. Lady Reds fall to 2-3 on the year. Autumn Kalis, the only player in double figures for the Lady Reds with 24 points. A very, very tough loss for Coach Bernero and the Lady Reds. Lady Reds had a 9-point lead after 3 quarters, led by 5 midway through the fourth, and it slipped away as the Ripon came from behind to beat the Lady Reds today, 57-54. Autumn Kalis again with 24 points in that victory. Other games going on this afternoon involving the CCIW men. You have Elmhurst up at UW-Oshkosh. First game since Oshkosh took the loss here Tuesday, and it's been a hangover. Elmhurst has jumped the Titans early, 24-12. The Blue Jays on top of Oshkosh midway through the first half. So Elmhurst getting an early lead on the road at UW-Oshkosh. For the Titans, that is their home opener this afternoon. Later on this afternoon, a 4 o'clock tip just to our south down in Lake Forest. The Lake Forest College Foresters will be hosting Illinois Wesleyan. Out in Waukesha, a 4 o'clock tip. Interesting ball game there. Carroll University will host Wabash in the final of their pre-Thanksgiving tournament at Carroll. The Pioneers off to a 5-0 start, their first 5-0 start since the 15-16 season. They will host Wabash this afternoon at 4. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, down in Jacksonville, Illinois, Milliken, in search of their first win of the season, will take on Illinois College. And at 7 tonight, down at the King Arena in Wheaton, the Wheaton Thunder hosting the Comets from Olivet College, Michigan. Here it's the Redmen and the Fightin' Engineers from Terre Haute, Indiana, from Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. Don't see too many teams. Matter of fact, in my time here, I think we've played a collection of maybe 2 teams out of that Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Transylvania comes to mind. There was a home-and-home series with Transylvania about 10 years ago. I remember taking a trip down to Lexington, Kentucky on New Year's Eve for a New Year's Eve matchup down there, and that was quite an interesting trip. If you're not familiar with Transylvania, that university is located directly across the street from the University of Kentucky, and got a chance to tour a little bit of Rupp Arena there and see the sights of Lexington on that trip. That was quite an interesting road trip that we took with the football bowl games going on at that time. And remember, the buses that we had at that time had the televisions on. We were able to catch some of those bowl games on our way down. Well, we're getting ready for our starting lineups for this afternoon's game. Rose-Hulman and Carthage. Let's head downstairs to our PA.
Technology, Fightin' Engineers, a record of 2-1, and your Carthage College Redmen, record of 4-0. First, let's meet the Fightin' Engineers. At forward, the 6'7" junior from Harrison, Ohio, number 5, Jacob Beck. At guard, the 6'2" junior from Danville, Indiana, number 10, Zach Callahan. At guard, a 6'2" senior from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 11, Michael Lake. At guard, a 6-foot junior from Loveland, Ohio, number 15, Craig McGee. And at forward, a 6'7" junior from Cold Spring, Kentucky, number 33, Trey Wirtz. Head coach of the Fighting Engineers is Rusty Lloyd. He's assisted by John Lester. And now, are you ready? And now, introducing your Carthage Redmen. At center, a 6'11" junior from Notre Dame College Prep. From Chicago, Illinois, number 34, Sean Johnson. At forward, a 6'5" senior from Zion Benton High School in Zion, Illinois, number 24, Keenan Baltimore. At center, a 6'11" senior from Maine South High School, hailing from Park Ridge, Illinois, number 54, Brad Perry. At guard, a 6'2" senior from Niles North High School, from Chicago, Illinois, number 3, Krishan Cook. And at guard, a 6'4" senior from Downers Grove North High School in Downers Grove, Illinois, number 21, Jordan Kidrowski. The head coach for the Redmen is Bosco Jurakovic.
So the Redmen, their familiar lineup: Cook, Kidrowski, Baltimore, Johnson, and Perry out there. And for Rose-Hulman, it'll be Back, Callahan, Lake, McGee, Rom, the starting 5 for the Fightin' Engineers. 2-1 on the season out of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Redmen 4-0. Off to their best start in 5 years. Redmen sporting the black jerseys, black shorts, red numerals, red lettering trimmed in white. Rose-Hulman, white jerseys, white shorts, the maroon lettering, and maroon numerals. Robert Dowling will toss it up here between Johnson and Bach. And the opening tip. Johnson able to win it to Perry. Carthage will walk it up left to right as we are underway from the beautiful Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Man-to-man, well, actually a zone, 2-on-2 here. Now they break it up, and we got a freedom of movement foul there as Johnson cut through the lane, got bumped off by Back. Jacob Back with the foul, the 6'7" junior out of Harrison, Ohio. Again, that's point of emphasis, the freedom of movement, no restrictions, the physical restrictions of the movement in the paint. Carthage retains possession. Cook will back it out. Shot clock was reset to 20, so it's down to 10 here. Cook step back 20-footer, rolls off, no good. And the rebound hauled in by Callahan. He will bring it down. First offensive set for the Fightin' Engineers. Working around the near side. Wirtz inside, working on Johnson. Spins off the right block, shot short. Perry clears it out. Try to get it up to Kedrowski across midcourt. Kedro down the right side. Nearly lost control of the dribble. Pulls it back outside the arc. Flips it left side to Baltimore. Keenan Baltimore back outside the arc. Good to see him get on the score sheet last night with 23. Starting to build some confidence there as Johnson now takes it to Perry. Reversing left side. Baltimore up top to Kedrowski with 6 on the shot clock. Cook tips pass underneath to Johnson. Put it up and draws the foul. Shot clock going down to 1, and Johnson got hammered on the right block. He will go to the line to shoot a pair. That foul will go on Trey Wirtz, 6'7" junior out of Kentucky. And Johnson on the free throw line. First one is no good. Only went to the line once last night. That was early. Went 1 for 1 from the stripe. Johnson's second free throw is down, and we have our first point of the ball game. 1-0 Redmond. Again, some token pressure put on McGee by Cook as McGee gets it across now to Wirtz. Hands it back off to Callahan. Back to Wirtz. Step back 3 by the lefty. Left side is short. Rebound pulled in by Kedrowski. Kedro works it to Cook around to Baltimore. Inside to Perry. Turns and offensive foul on Perry at the left block. Getting back that time was Wirtz, able to take that charge as he got planted on the left block just as that pass got into Perry. First foul of the game on the Redmen. McGee, the preseason honorable mention All-American pass stolen away by Baltimore. Baltimore coming down the left side. Baltimore going up, shot rejected. Getting back defensively that time was Jacob Back, able to swat that one away. Now McGee will set it up offensively for the Fighting Engineers. Wirtz high on the right, back up top to Callahan. Back over to Wirtz. Right side guarded by Johnson. Top of the circle, all alone, back for 3. That one's no good. Baltimore with the rebound and the foul, I believe. They call him for the hold that time as they call Baltimore for the foul. He's battling for that rebound and looked like he got his left arm hung up on the hip of that Rose-Hulman defender. So 20 on the shot clock here as they get it inbounds. Kedrowski trying to come away with the steal. It's loose in the backcourt. He comes away with it. Kedrowski down the right side, lays it up and in. Hounded that pass as it came in. Was able to take it away from Michael Lake across midcourt. Finally got control for the layup. 3-0 Redmond. McGee raised up, passed it off. Johnson intercepted, handed off to Kedrowski. Coming down the right side once again. Inside Johnson, touch pass to Cook, right corner. Back up top to Kedro, reversing to Baltimore. Now to the left block, it goes to Perry. He's double teamed. Back out to Cook, alone on the right arc for 3. That one's no good, but it glances off the rim and hits Jacob Back out of bounds. It'll be Carthage ball. Shot clock remains at 14 as the Redmen will inbound left of the basket. They get it to Kedro. He'll pop off the inbound feed, hits the 22-footer. Kedrowski with 4 of his team's first 5 points. 5-0 Redmond here. We've played 3 minutes. McGee now on the right left wing. Working off that ball screen by Back. Kick to the right side. It goes to Wirtz for the triple over Johnson. McGee with that little jab step, then passed it off. Wirtz standing outside the arc. Johnson came back at him, but got it away for the triple. 5-3 Redmond. Perry to Kedrowski. Works it to Baltimore below the arc left side. Backing down into the paint left block. Turnaround shooting Baltimore. Back iron miss. Rebound to Lake for Rose-Hulman. Gives it off to McGee. McGee now. Tried to pass it up top, nearly lost it to Lake. Back over to Wirtz, another 3 attempt. That one's no good. Kedrowski able to snare the rebound. Took it right away from Jacob Back. Not sure he would have done that a year ago. That little extra muscle he has put on. Just able to take that one away from that guard. Kedrowski now to the free throw line. Dumps to Johnson, walk with the basketball. I think that pass kind of surprised Johnson. Kedro got that pass above the arc, top of the circle, took the dribble below, and then wanted to swing that ball in. Johnson caught that pass and wasn't quite ready for it. So the turnover by the Redmen. John Zarnecki in there now, a 6'7" senior for the Engineers, and that pass stolen away by Kedrowski. Tried to get it down to Johnson, broken up back to Kedrow. He'll pull it back out to Baltimore on the left wing. Baltimore now. Good pressure up front. Now they try and dump it inside to Perry. Underneath the basket, has to dribble out of traffic. Kick back to Baltimore. Baltimore 20-footer left side. Good, tough shot and a foul. Count it, one more upcoming for Baltimore. It was a late whistle. Zach Callahan, after the shot, made contact with Baltimore. And that'll put Baltimore on the line for the and one. Little fadeaway that time by Keenan. As I said, it was well after the shot. The ball was going through the hoop when the whistle was blown. Makes the free throw. Redmond back up by 5. 8-3 Carthage. Approaching 5 minutes gone by here at the Tarble Arena. Callahan now, high on the right, guarded by Baltimore. Takes the dribble below the arc. Kick to the left corner, back out to McGee, alone on the left wing. Good. Got to honor him. He is a good shooter. The 6-foot junior out of Loveland, Ohio. Great Lakes Freshman Player of the Year by D3Hoops.com back in 2018. Two-time first-team All-Conference in the HCAC. Now Perry, macking down, turnaround shot off the left block, good. Tough shot. Worked over Zarnecki that time on the left block. Perry with his first points. 10-6 Redmond, 14:35 to play. Zarnecki off the left block, turning now on Perry. Got around Perry, goes up and draws the foul. Got a quick step that time around Perry's right as Perry came up to face him, and Perry commits the foul. That's his second. So that'll put at the line John Zarnecki. Free throw up and good for Zarnecki. Zarnecki, 85% shooter coming into this tournament. As Eli Combs, a 6'5" senior, checks in now for the Engineers. Along with Terry Hicks. Missed the second. Hicks with the rebound. Gets it back to Zarnecki. Comes down the lane. Left it short. Baltimore picks it up underneath. On a little teardrop that time, and it came up short. Johnson now works it off to Baltimore on the right wing. Baltimore backs it out. Good man-to-man defense here by Rose-Hulman. Baltimore trying to find some space. Flips it to Cook, coming down to the top of the circle. Now back to Kedrowski. Circles, free throw line, below the line. Dumps it off, fell in the paint. Cook back to Johnson. Puts up the soft jumper and good. Little soft one-hander that time by Johnson. About midway down the paint that time, able to connect. A little helter-skelter. I like the way the Fighting Engineers play that man-to-man defense. They are right in your chest. 12-7 Redmond. 13.5 minutes to go, first half. Hicks now works it back off to McGee. McGee driving, got past everybody, reverse layup, good. Coming down the right side, reversed it right to left, going off the left glass. Lead down to 3 here. Cook at the center circle. Right side Baltimore. To the free throw line, step back jumper, good for Keenan. Lost the defender that time, a little jab step, pulled it back. 5 points now for Baltimore. 14-9. Good up and down play here between two very competitive teams. Two teams picked to be in the top 3 in the conference. Redmond certainly making a case here early. Zarnecki spinning on the left block, going off the glass over Perry, no. Rebound tip to Cook. Outlets to Kedrowski. Pulls up, free throw line jumper, back iron miss. The rebound to Craig McGee. He'll settle it down. 12:25 to go, first half, 14-9 Redmond. They have led the entire way. McGee again gets dribble penetration, missed the shot. Good defense by Cook. Johnson clears out the rebound. And that's the key here. Keep McGee from taking that dribble below the free throw line. Cook, a little skip jumper that time, wouldn't fall. Ball loose. Kedrowski picks it up, going back up, off the glass and down. Falling down as he did so. Kedrowski looking for a foul, none there. Tough shot, falling away from the basket. Able to hit. 6 now for Kedrowski. Lead out to 7. McGee pulls up, blocked by Johnson, out of bounds. First block of the game by Sean Johnson. Next, Chaplin will check in now for the Engineers. Also, Samvit Ram will check in. Sophomore, 6'3", out of Stevenson High School. Just down the road a bit. TJ Best in there for the Redmen for Cook. Also Bulatovic, Filip Bulatovic in there. So you got Bulatovic and Cook, Baltimore, Johnson, and Kedrowski. Zarnecki with it on the left wing. Up top to Ram. Ram cut off by Kedrowski, shoots over Kedro, crawls off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound and swatted out again. Blocked out by Johnson as Zarnecki got the offensive board. Redmond out rebounding Rose-Hulman, 8-6 here in the early going. Ram works it inside, turnaround shot over Baltimore, crawls off the rim, no good. Johnson able to get the rebound. Hicks that time going over Baltimore. Check that was Combs going over Baltimore. Redmond trying to push the lead to 9 here. Baltimore on the drive. Cut off left baseline, try to get it inside to Johnson. Went through 3 different players, and it's another turnover here. Third of the game for the Redmen. Now on the drive, again it blocked out of bounds. As driving was Max Chaplin. Might be the shortest guy on the floor here at 6'2". Tried to get past Johnson that time. Third block by Johnson. Now we got a whistle and a foul. Bulatovic got his hand tangled up on the waist that time of Terry Hicks. First foul on Bulatovic, 4th on the Redmen. So 20 on the shot clock here for the Engineers to inbound. Ram with it. Gives it to Zarnecki. Shot up and good. Tough shot that time by Max Chaplin, able to knock that one down. Makes it a 5-point game, 16-11. 10:25 to go here, first half. Baltimore in the near wing to Johnson, top of the circle. Inside to Bulatovic. Tried to go up and over. Shot was blocked. Good defense by Terry Hicks that time. Carthage will reload here. Shot clock did not reset because it did not hit the rim. 9 to shoot. Kedrowski, free throw line jumper, good. No stress there at all as Kedro got that ball back, took the dribble to the free throw line and popped from there. 8 first half points now for Kedrowski, 18-11 Redmond. Now steal by Kedrowski. Coming down the left side, he'll lay it up and in. And the foul, and one more for Jordan Kedrowski. Terry Hicks, last man back, got him across the arm as he laid it through. And so the three-point play upcoming for Kedrowski. Baltimore out now as Laquetta comes in. Preston Laquetta, 6'5" junior, as Kedrowski hits the three-point play. Largest lead now at 10 for the Redmen. 21-11, 9:45 to play. Ram gets it across in front of Kedrowski. Kedrowski trying to go for the steal, got him from behind. Good job by Kedro, though. That's his first 15 foul on the Redmen. McGee will check back in now. He will replace Max Chaplin. He will also trigger the inbound right next to Bosco. Combs with it, back up top to Zarnecki. McGee going to be guarded by Best here. Now to Zarnecki, top of the circle, shot clock at 6. Zarnecki has nowhere to go with it. Shot clock down to 2, 1, and they get the layup. They got it inside at the last second. Zach Callahan somehow squirted his way through the lane, got that pass and got it in before the shot clock expired. Kedrowski for 3. That one's no good. Rebound pulled in by Combs. And it was loose, and McGee stepped out of bounds. Bulatovich bothering Combs that time, forced him into a bad pass. And the Redmen will take possession in the offensive end here with 9:02 to play. Carthage 9 for 17, 53%. Rose-Hulman 5 for 15, 33% so far. Best, the kick to Bulatovich. Right corner 3, crawls off, no good. Johnson with a one-handed rebound attempt. It goes out of bounds. He could not corral it. Got to get both hands on that one. Got a right hand on it, was going to try and do it all at once, but never got that left hand around to snare that ball. Trey Wirtz back in now, along with Jacob Beck for the Engineers. 8:40 to play, first half, 21-13 Carthage. They've led from the get-go. Callahan to McGee. Inside to Wirtz. Wirtz going up and over. Laquetta trying to help out Johnson, was a little late. Able to get it low right. They've cut it to 6 now at 21-15. A little 4-0 run here. Best backs the dribble off. Top of the circle, kick left side. Kedrowski drives into the paint. Back to the right corner, Best. Driving in right side. Got a screen from Laquetta and uses it. Goes right to the basket and lays it in. Nice job using the ball screen that time, set by Laquetta, as Best was able to go glass low right. 23-15, and left all alone. Nice pass inside. Wirtz with the finish. 7 points for Wirtz. 23-17 Redmond. 7:45 to go first half. Laquetta for 3, in and out. Rebound McGee. Gets it down quickly, and a layup, and the foul. Laquetta getting back late, fouling Michael Lake, putting Lake at the line to shoot 2. I believe we're going to get a timeout taken by the Redmen, and we do. 30-second timeout. Carthage coming with 7:35 to play, and the Redmen leading by 6. Our game today brought to you in part by our fine friends Lost my sheet. How about that one? I think that's the first I've had that happen to me all year. Well, I lost my... There it is. Mason's Eatery and Pub, Building Waters Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our friends at Luigi's Pizzeria, and something different, a Sports Fan Fantasyland. Got him in. Scott, you got to love that one. That's a first. Michael Lake at the line here for a couple of free throws, able to drop the first one in. First points of the game here for Mr. Lake as he hits them both. Cut it to 4 here, 23-19. Bulatovich, Laquetta, Johnson. Best, as going up with that shot was Bulatovich, able to draw the foul. He'll get to the line. It's going to be an interesting year for the freshman Bulatovich. He comes ready-made from a nice program. Maine South, same high school, Brad Perry. Perry family in attendance tonight. Sitting down below to my right. Bulatovich able to connect on the front end of 2. Brad Perry going to check in now as in here for the Engineers, Tim Harris, a 6'9 junior out of Gary, Indiana. So Bosco going to answer with Brad Perry here, giving Johnson a breather. Missed the second. 1 for 2 was Bulatovich, 24-19. Lead at 5 here for Carthage, led by as many as 10 midway through this first half. Lob pass down low. They get the double team on back. And the ball rolls off the rim, right back to back, goes up, missed the shot, ball tipped around again, saved by Washburn, goes out of bounds, and it goes off of the big man, Harris. Carthage ball in there now. So interesting matchups now. We got Washburn, Joshua Washburn in there now. 5'11" junior out of Indian Trail. He and Best running the guard tandem here. Best with it, pulls up free throw line, back out to Washburn. Kicks off to Balatovich, drives in right side, shows the ball, going glass, lays it in. What a move by the freshman Filip Balatovich out of the right corner. Put the ball on the floor, put his head down, drove it to the basket. Able to make it, plus the foul. Boy, what a nice move, got around Harris that time. And completes the three-point play. 4 on the night for Balatovich. 8-point Redmond lead, 27-19. 6.5 to play here in this first half. Callahan with it underneath, dumps it down right side back, and a foul called. Laquetta picking up the foul. That's his second. 7th team foul, so the Redmen over the limit into the 1-and-1. At the line for 2, however, is Jacob back and knocks down the front end. 4 for 5 are the Engineers here at the free throw line. Redmond 5 for 7 in this ball game. Second one too strong. Rebound Perry. 1 for 2 that trip. 27-20. Carthage in front. 6:20 to go first half. Washburn with it to the free throw line with the dribble. Back out to Perry. Now to Best. Back out to Washburn, right wing. Pulls it behind the arc. Will shoot. The lefty puts up the 3 and he finds it. Laquetta came out, set the ball screen, then retreated down low. Washburn just fired it up. The lefty able to knock down the triple. 30-20. Now the free throw line jumper by Harris won't go. Followed it in. Ball loose in the paint. Laquetta and Harris tied up. Possession arrow back to the Engineers. Zarnecki will check back in now for Rose-Hulman. He will come in for Harris. McGee will trigger the inbound left to the basket. He'll have 17 on the shot clock here. I think that's what they're going to, they're going to reset it to 20. Redmond back up by 10. Their largest lead of the game here. Got knocked down to 4 a couple of times, but have rallied back here. McGee with it now off the inbound feed. Michael Lake. Zarnecki high on the left, guarded hard by Balatovich. Now to the guard, McGee. Back over to Callahan. Shot clock down to 5. Callahan, deep 3 over Washburn, missing. Rebound, Brad Perry. Time the shot clock going down. Again, that's one of the rule changes. That possession doesn't change. It gets reset to 20 and not to 30. I think teams are still trying to get used to that. TJ Best trying to flip it over to Balatovich in the left corner and turns it over. Keenan Baltimore will check back in now for the Redmen, coming in for Preston Laquetta. Under 5 minutes to go, first half. Redmond with 5 turnovers, actually each team with 5 turnovers here. Zarnecki with the weave to Callahan to McGee, back underneath to Zarnecki, beat everybody to the spot, laid it up and in right side. Got past both Perry and the help out by Washburn that time. Zarnecki with 3 points tonight. 30-22, Redmond by 8. Perry inside from Baltimore, lays it up and in. Nice over-the-top feed from Baltimore to the right block to Perry. He just turned around and went off the glass. 4 points now for Perry. 32-22. Zarnecki hands it off. Callahan to McGee. Back to Zarnecki. He wants a three over Belatovich. Got a piece of it. Nice block by Phillip. Able to get a hand on it. Now the Redmen will come back with it. Best across midcourt. Left corner it goes to Belatovich. Dribbles out. Lays up at the right hand and good. Got around 2 defenders. Phillip Belatovich now with 6. 34-22. Timeout, Rose-Hulman. Full timeout will break as well. 3:45 remaining first half. Redmen with their largest lead of the game. It's Carthage 34, Rose-Hulman 22. On your home for Redmen Athletics, AM 1050 WLIP. Oh. I hate when my button doesn't work. Hey, we're even. I lost my script here. Fighting Engineers bring it in following the timeout. Callahan, Lake, McGee, Mack, and Zarnecki out there. Redmen respond with Johnson, Best, Washburn, Bulatovich, and Baltimore. Lake cut off nicely by Washburn. Got it to Zarnecki, got Johnson off the floor, went around him and laid it up and in. Johnson came to left block to defend him and then faked the jump shot. That got Johnson off the floor. Then he took the extra dribble to the basket and laid it in. 34-24, 10-point Redmen lead. Now Johnson with it. Back up top to Baltimore. Baltimore for 3. Back iron miss. McGee collects the rebound. He'll push it up for the Fighting Engineers. McGee backs it off to the arc. Slides it off left side. Lake, and on the drive, Lake was fouled by Baltimore. Oh, offensive foul. It's going to go against the Engineers. Jacob back with a moving screen. Eli Combs checks in now, replacing Jacob back. Each team now with 7 team fouls. Carthage will bring it up from the backcourt, uncontested. 2:45 to play, leading by 10. Washburn gets into the lane, lays up with the left hand. Oh, he couldn't get it to fall. Rolled off at the last second there. Nice penetration, though, by the junior guard. McGee with it inside Zarnecki. Mismatch there. Redmen were late to react and left Washburn alone on the big man, and he took care of business. Zarnecki now with 7. Now Baltimore looks for a cutter. Best to Washburn, left wing. Back up top to Best, reversing right side to Baltimore. Engineers been man-to-man the entire game here. Carthage backs it off, 7 to shoot. Washburn around the screen. Flips up with the left hand, banks it in. Got to call those. Little running one-hander with the left hand off the window and down for Josh Washburn. That's 6 tonight for Washburn, the lead back to 10. Lake with it, inside Zarnecki. He's double-teamed, Baltimore and Best. Kicks it back out to Lake. Lake on the drive, back out to Zarnecki. Trying to get around Baltimore, or it should say Best. Good defense here by the Redmen. Lake, little floater in the paint, won't fall. And TJ Best collects the rebound. 1:20 to go in the half. Redmond up 10. Baltimore to Johnson, right side Bulanovich. Looking inside for Baltimore. Nice job by Eli Combs. Stepped in front of Baltimore to swat it out of bounds. Kodrowski will check back in for Washburn here with 70 seconds left in this first half. We got contact in the lane, so we want to get everybody sorted out here. Again, Robert Dowling trying to get some separation here or move Baltimore out of the paint completely. They get everybody set. Best inbounds to Baltimore. Near corner, just inside the arc. Baltimore will pop and hit. Combs was standing right in front of him, never got an arm up. I think he thought Baltimore was going to toss it off, and Keenan caught him a little bit napping there. 7 for Keenan, under a minute to go now in this first half. Lead back to 12. Callahan to Lake, around to McGee. Back inside it goes. Callahan lost the ball, tied up, got it away, lays it up low left and in. Got it tied up with his own man there for a minute. Could have been a traveling call. 4 points now for Callahan. 38-28 Redmond. 26 seconds to play in the half. Baltimore, top of the circle. Works it off to Bulanovich. Right side, driving. Free throw line, kick to the left corner. Baltimore traveled with the ball. They left him open. He thought about the three, then was going to put it on the floor and drive the basket. He forgot one thing. Got to put the ball on the floor first. Bag packing, right, Johnny? That's what that looked like. Well, the Engineers will have the final possession here of this first half. Trailing by 10. McGee will fire. Comes up short. Rebound inside by Carthage, and time expires. Bulanovich able to clear that board as time expired. So the Redmond will take a 10-point lead into the locker room, led by as many as 12. 38-28 Carthage after one. We'll pause, take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll run the numbers here from this first half. You're listening to Carthage Redmond basketball on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. How Oshkosh lost football? They went for 2 in overtime and missed. Hey, did you know Carthage offers a Master of Science degree in the thriving field of business design and innovation? More targeted than an MBA program, it can be completed in just 10 months. Design is the creative approach to solving complex problems. The BDI program prepares graduates to lead and manage high-performing cross-functional teams, design innovative solutions, and develop effective strategies and programs for private, nonprofit, and government sectors. To find out more about this graduate program, the Master of Science in Business Design and Innovation, you can contact the Graduate Admissions Office at Carthage College, 262-551-5734, or go online to carthage.edu/BDI. Halftime here in Kenosha, Carthage posting a 10-point lead, 38-28. They've led right from the opening tip here. Built out as much as a 10-point lead midway through the first half. The Engineers coming back, cut it to 4 a couple of times. The last time on a pair of free throws by Michael Lake with 7.5 minutes to go. That made it 23-19, but the Redmen were able to rebound, build out as much as a 12-point lead here in the final 5 minutes before settling on that 38-28 lead here at the half. In that first half, the Redmen shot 57%. Carthage 16 of 28 in that first half, 57%. Redmen were just 1 for 6 at the arc and 5 for 7 at the free throw line. Meanwhile, for the Engineers, 39% shooting in that first half, 11 of 28. They were 2 for 7 at the arc and 4 for 6 at the free throw line. Breaking it down individually for the Redmen in that first half, it was Jordan Kadrowski, the only player for either team in double figures tonight. He finished the half with 11 points. He played 12 minutes, 11 points on 5 of 7 from the field, 1 for 1 at the free throw line. 7 points for Keenan Baltimore. Baltimore 3 for 6 for his 7 points tonight. 6 points for Joshua Washburn coming off the bench, played 7.5 minutes midway through this first half, was 6 points, 2 for 3 shooting, including a three-pointer. 5 points for Filip Biladovic. And let's see here. We got 4 points for Brad Perry, 3 points for Sean Johnson, and 2 points for TJ Best. Preston Laquetta played, did not score. Krishan Cook started, played about 8 minutes, did not score as well for the Redmen. Again, Carthage, 57% from the field, 16 of 28 in that first half. For the Fighting Engineers, they were led by Zarnecki. John Zarnecki with 7 points, 3 of 6 from the field, coming off the bench, playing 12, almost 13 minutes in that first half. 3 for 6 and 1 for 2 at the line for his 7 points. Wirtz with 7, as he went 3 for 6, including a three-pointer in that first half. McGee was held to just 5 points on 2 of 5 at shooting in that first half. Again, Craig McGee, preseason honorable mention All-America by D3 News. And the Redmen did a nice job keeping him in check in that first half. Rebounding totals even at 16 apiece. Carthage with 3 offensive boards in that first half, and the Fighting Engineers with 6 in that first half. Each team was 16 total. Leader for the Redmen in rebounding was Brad Perry with 4, all on the defensive end. Meanwhile, leading rebounder for the Rose-Hulman was McGee. He ended up with 3 rebounds in that first half. Redmen 4 assists on their 16 made baskets. The Fighting Engineers with 6 on their 11. Each team with 6 turnovers. Redmen getting 7 points off of the 6 turns by Rose-Hulman. And Engineers with just 4 points off of the 6 turns committed by the Redmen. Carthage with 4 blocks, 3 of them by Sean Johnson tonight. And the Redmen getting 4 steals, a pair of them by Jordan Kodrowski. Points in the paint, even at 16. Bench scoring, however, to the Redmen at 13-9. And Redmen led from wire to wire in that first half and lead by 10, 38-28 your score. Other action in Division III today, and that includes the Carthage Lady Reds, who were in action earlier today as they were up at Ripon College taking on the Redhawks. And in that one, it was the Redhawks pulling away late as they were able to post a 57-54 victory over the Lady Reds in Ripon today. Autumn Kalis with 24 points to lead the way for Carthage, who fall to 2-3 on the season. Lady Reds back in action Tuesday night here at home as they will host UW Stevens Point. That'll be a game we will have for you here on 1050 WLIP beginning at 6:45 on Tuesday night. Other interesting action today. Elmhurst is at UW Oshkosh, and they're in the second half of that ball game, and the Blue Jays lead by 14, 54-40 over UW Oshkosh. They have held Adam Fravert off the score sheet. Fravert, preseason All-America candidate by D3Hoops.com, 0 for 6 in that contest. He was 1 for 15 against the Redmen on Tuesday in the victory by Carthage. Jack Flynn is got 9 points along with Will Mahoney to lead the way for the Titans, but it's been Jake Rohde's show. He has 15 on 6 of 10 shooting. And also Derek Dotlich having a fine ball game, 18 points for the Blue Jays. Again, 15 minutes left in the second half. It is Elmhurst 54, UW Oshkosh 40. Illinois Wesleyan expected to take on Lake Forest College later this afternoon. That game just getting underway. NCAA Division III football this afternoon. The playoffs, first round of the playoffs taking place this afternoon. And it was Wheaton knocking off Martin Luther 51-7, the final in that one. They advance into the second round. They will face 24th ranked Central of Iowa, who won in overtime today over 18th ranked UW Oshkosh. Game ended in a 31-all tie at regulation. Each team got a possession in overtime. Central scored on the first possession, kicked the extra point, made it 38-31. Oshkosh scored, making it 38-37, and Coach Cerrone elected to go for 2 to win the ball game, and came up short. And Central advancing, they will take on Wheaton next Saturday. North Central posting a 51-15 victory over Wabash today. So the Cardinals advance, and all they have to do is face the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. Mount Union dispatched Hanover today 65-14. It was UW Whitewater over Monmouth 35-10. In one of the more curious games today, Don Beebe, the new head coach at Aurora University, had his Spartans in front late in that contest, but St. John's, the 8th-ranked Johnnies, came back from behind, scoring 16 fourth-quarter points and posting a 51-47 victory over Aurora this afternoon. It was kind of the curious game we were all keeping an eye on there. Beebe, the first-year head football coach at Aurora. Some of the other scores today, it was Huntington, unranked, knocked off 23rd-ranked Berry today, 27-24. And it was Union College over Case Western Reserve, 24-21. And Mary Hardin Baylor knocked off Redlands today, 43-14. Again, we will have action for you Tuesday night from the Tarble Arena as Lady Reds basketball, 7 o'clock tip. Hope to see you out here in person. A little pre-holiday basketball here in Kenosha. It'll be the Lady Reds and UW Stevens Point. That will be an interesting ball game. And this Lady Reds team has struggled here, 2-3 coming into play, coming into that ball game. Standings here in the CCIW, Carroll with their win last night, now 5-0 on the season. They are taking on Wabash this afternoon, a game that's just getting underway. Carthage and Elmhurst, the two other teams of the three that are undefeated coming into play today. Carthage at 4-0, Elmhurst at 2-0. Then you have Augie and Illinois Wesleyan at 3-1 each. Wheaton at 2-1 in action tonight against Olivet. North Central will play this Rose-Hulman team on Monday down in Naperville. They're at 1-1. North Park and Milliken winless. Parkies at 0-3. Big Blue at 0-4. Again, for the Redmen, this is their final game going into Thanksgiving. They will be off until the Wednesday after Thanksgiving when they open up conference play against North Central. That'll be December the 4th, right here at home against North Central. Conference opener. We will have that broadcast for you Wednesday, December 4th, beginning at 6:45 Central Time here on AM 1050 WLIP. Looking forward to calling that action as the Redmen, pretty tough opening games. They open up at home against North Central, then that following Saturday on the road at Illinois Wesleyan. So second half getting ready to take place here at the Tarble Arena. In our game tonight, brought to you in part by Lynch Chevrolet, by Ruffalo's 2 Family Restaurant, Lou Perini's Gas and Groceries on 52nd Street and Sheridan Road, Wingstop of Kenosha, S.J. Crystal's Menswear for the finest in men's fashions. It's clearly S.J. Crystal's, downtown Kenosha at 57th Street and 6th Avenue. Looks like it'll be the starting 5 for the Redmen here to start this second half. Kodrowski, Baltimore, Cook, Johnson, and Perry. Redmen sporting the black jerseys in this one. Looks like it'll be Callahan and Lake along with McGee, Wirtz, and Zarnecki to start this second half. Redmen with the ball, working right to left to begin our second half. And man-to-man defense here for Rose-Hulman. Quickly inside to Johnson. Quick jump shot, won't fall. Offensive board to Perry. Back out to Cook. 3 on the way for Krishan. Back iron miss. Long rebound pulled in by the Engineers and Zach Callahan. Set up their first offensive look here, and they knock it down. McGee able to knock it down. 38-30. Again, Carthage led by as many as 12 in that first half. And they miss again here, and so the rebound pulled out of there by the Fighting Engineers. Need a good start here. Callahan, kick back out to Lake. Good defense by the Redmen. Back out, Wirtz for 3, knocks it down. Trey Wirtz, 6'7". Not afraid to put it up. He now leads the team in scoring with 10. They've cut it to 5 here. 5-0 run to open up this third quarter. Second half, I should say. Kodrowski, top of the circle. Below the free throw line. Running one-hander, blocked. Wirtz that time getting a hand on that shot. Engineers come away with it. Quickly down is Lake. Gets past Kodrowski. Continues the dribble now. Works it off to the right corner. Now back up top. Zarnecki wants the 3. That's off the iron flat and rebound Baltimore. Keenan takes it across midcourt down the left side. Still with the ball now. Works the dribble. Lost the man. Pulls up and hits. And we got a timeout taken by the Redmen here. Bosco did not like the last 2 offensive looks wants to talk about it here. So a 30-second timeout early here in this second half. 40-33 Carthage. And what a nice move by Baltimore that time. Little scissor dribble that time. Able to lose the defender and then put it up out of the left corner just inside the arc. Same five out there for the Redmen. Kodrowski, Cook, Baltimore, Perry, and Johnson. Wirtz, McGee, Zarnecki, Lake, and Callahan out there for the Engineers. Now Redmen will show a little press here. Krishan Cook will pressure McGee here as he brings it up. Works it off to Wirtz. Trey Wirtz gets the return pass, driving in the left side, dumps it back to the corner, and we got to travel. Got it back into the hands of Lake. Lake then wanted to drive the basket out of that left corner, but shuffled the feet before he put the ball on the floor. First turnover of the second half, 7th of the game for the Engineers. 2 minutes in, 7-point Redmond lead. Down to Johnson, the two-hand flush off the bounce feed from Baltimore. First dunk of the game for Sean Johnson, who now has 5. With it now is Lake. Inside, Zarnecki, scoop shot, good. What a move. Caught that pass, was a little bit behind him, was able to gather it in, then flip it up underhanded off the glass with the right hand. 42-35, Baltimore drives. Johnson left alone for 3, and he drops it in. Sean Johnson with a triple. Baltimore with the dribble penetration that time, left Johnson all alone on the arc. 5 straight here for Johnson, the lead back to 10. McGee, shot blocked inside, whistle, foul. Ooh, that looked like a clean block by Perry. They said they got him on the arm. Have to look at the replay if we get it up here in a moment. That'll put McGee on the line shooting a pair. First trip to the line for McGee, and he clanks it off the back iron. Tough call there. They call it on Johnson. It was a late whistle. And McGee's second free throw missed them both, but the rebound came right back to him. He'll put up the jumper. Came up empty. Johnson able to get the rebound. Now Cook right at the center circle. Left side dump to Baltimore. Gets around the Perry screen. To the free throw line. Back out to Johnson. Now to Cook. Around the Johnson screen. Little float shot from the free throw line won't go down as McGee able to clear the rebound. Cook now 0 for 5 as McGee tried to dump it back into Zarnecki. Stolen by Johnson. Outlets to Baltimore. Baltimore coming down left side. Going glass. Banks it in. Dipped the shoulder that time on the defender, Michael Lake, then put it off the glass left side. 11 now for Baltimore. Lead back to 12, 47-35. Wirtz backing down on Kodrowski. Shoots over Kodrowski. Tough shot. Crawls over the rim and down. Kedro did all he could that time. Held him back. Just got that ball to get the sweet kiss around the rim and down. Now Perry, top of the circle, works it off left side. Cook back to Perry. 15-foot jump shot settles in for Brad Perry. Nice two-man game there between Cook and Perry. Cook getting the assist. 6 for Perry. 49-37 Redmond. 4.5 gone by here, second half. Wirtz now backing down on the left block, working on Cook. Now turns, faces, tried to get it up. Taken away by Perry. Now Baltimore with it. Long lead to Johnson. Able to catch up with it left block. Now gets it back up top. Baltimore will back it off. 19 to shoot here for the Redmen. Baltimore works it off to Kodrowski. Kodrowski flip pass back to Perry. Right side. Now left side it goes. Cook and walked with the ball. There's a defender late getting over there, Callahan, so Cook was going to try and get around him or at least drive into him, maybe draw the foul, but shuffled the feet and turned it over. We got a timeout, Rose-Hulman. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. Our game today brought to you by Mason's Eatery and Pub on Highway 50, west of Green Bay Road, by Triangle Furniture and Appliance Center, Highway 50 and 39th Avenue, Kenosha, and by Something Different, a sports fan fantasy land on 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. 9 minutes left up at Oshkosh. Elmhurst leading UW Oshkosh 70-62. Dotlich with 18. Jake Rohde with 18 for the Blue Jays. Fighting Engineers will put it in play in the backcourt. Carthage showing some pressure here. Cook again will pressure McGee. A nice job on McGee. 7 points tonight. Guy averaging close to 20, and they've done a pretty good job on him. McGee now on the right side. Trying to work it inside. Deflects off of Perry. Then it caromed off a back, and Carthage comes away with it. To Kedrowski, all the way underneath the basket. Back out to Johnson, left side. Underneath the Perry low right, able to finish. Drew the defense all the way through that time. Did Kedrow's dribble drive through the paint. Then when he dished to Johnson, everybody collapsed around Johnson. That left Perry open on the right block. 8 for Brad tonight. We got a whistle and a foul on the Redmen. I believe Cook called for the foul. Second team foul on the Redmen here. Terry Hicks, a freshman from Fishers, Indiana, in now for the Engineers. Trail by 14. Largest lead of the game here for the Redmen. McGee now spins on Johnson. Tries to get past Johnson. High off the glass. No good. The length just too much. Outlets to Baltimore. Coming down with a finger roll. Counted and one. Terry Hicks back to defend. Made contact with Baltimore. And Keenan will get the three-point play here. Second on Hicks. First on the Engineers here in the second half. And Baltimore for the and one. Got it. Three-point play. 14 points now for Keenan. 54-37. 7-0 run here for the Redmen. Under 14 to play. With it now is Callahan left side. Cut off by Baltimore. Back up top it goes to Combs. Back to back. Back will fire the three. Barely drew iron. Krishan Cook comes away with it on the quick dribble. Down the floor to Kedrowski. Kedrowski has to pull it back. Back to Cook on the right wing. Up top it'll go to Baltimore. Redmond will set the offense here. Carthage has done a good job defensively here in this ball game, holding them to 42% from the field. Johnson into Perry. Back out to Johnson. Wasn't ready for it. Deflects off of Johnson out of bounds. Tough turnover there. Two big guys trying to play keep away that time. It's the 9th turnover for the Redmen, 3rd here in the second half. 54-37. 7 minutes into our second half. Hicks from the free throw line, that falls in. About a 3-minute span there between field goals before Hicks was able to drop that one in. First 2 points for Hicks, 54-39. Perry now on the top of the circle, swings it off to Kedrowski. Back up top to Baltimore, pulls it back. Working the rhythmic dribble. Johnson's going to come up and set a screen. Slides off the screen, does Baltimore. Works it back to Johnson, top of the circle. Inside Perry. Perry, turn around. 3-second violation. Don't see many of those calls anymore in college. Perry nabbed for the 3-second. 54-39. Engineers working the basketball here, down 15. 12:20 to play. Hicks with it now. Behind the arc, right wing. Try to get it to McGee, stolen by Cook. Cook will come down with it, gets it under control, will lay it up and in. First points tonight for Christian Cook. Getting the steal and the bucket the other way, 56-39. McGee penetrates, throws it off the leg of back. It's loose inside. They recover. Hicks with it now. And we got a 3-second violation on the Engineers. Bulatovich will check in now, replacing Brad Perry. Philip Bulatovich, freshman out of Maine South. First appearance here of the second half. 11:50 to play, 56-39, Redmond in front. They've led the entire way here. Kedrowski into Baltimore, backing down on the left block. Skip pass, back out Bulatovich for three. Crawls off the rim, no good. Back able to get the rebound for the Engineers. McGee working the dribble between the circles. Cook steps out on him, goes up high with the right hand, couldn't get it to fall. Johnson with the rebound. Fourth board tonight for Johnson, gets it down the floor quickly to Kedrowski. Back up top to Cook, left side goes Baltimore. Raising up, fakes the shot. Puts it on the floor, lost the dribble, regains, flips it up, dances off the rim, ball tipped out to the free throw line, McGee with it. Comes back the other way, going on Christian Cook with the foul. Did the smart thing, McGee, that time. Saw Cook slide in front of him. Just did all he could to try and make contact to get the foul. Second foul on Cook. Third on the Redmond team. McGee at the line where he is 0 for 2. Gets that one to settle in. Samvit Ram will check in now for the Engineers, along with Michael Lake. TJ Best in for Christian Cook. McGee's free throw off the back heel, no good. Rebound Johnson, 1 for 2 that trip. 16-point Redmond lead, under 11 minutes to play. Baltimore now on the drive to the free throw line. Step back jumper off the front of the rim, no good. McGee with the rebound. Gets it down the floor quickly. Gets around Baltimore, slides it off down low, reversing left block to right, making the bucket Eli Combs. Baltimore thought he was going to get a charge that time. He planted, stayed in the lane. McGee, shifty enough, able to get it down low to Combs. Now Kedrowski back out to Bulatovich for three. That one's off the rim, no good. Got a foul here? We got a flopping warning here on the Redmond. On who? Oh, it's going to be on Samvit Ram for the Engineers. So that's that new rule. You get the warning on the flop. Next time a flop happens, the official calls it a flop. It's a one-shot technical. McGee driving the lane, try to get around Johnson. Good job by Johnson to hold his position. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Carthage ball. Good job by Sean Johnson inside. That has bothered McGee all game long. Down 3 for 10, 8 points for McGee. 56-42 Redmond midway through this second half. John Weiser with you from the Tarble Arena tonight. Final game till conference play. Baltimore had it slapped out of bounds. Redmond will retain possession, 18 on the shot clock. Redmond don't play again till December 4th against North Central. North Central's been off most of this week. They'll play Monday against this Rose-Hulman team. Oh, Kedrowski tried to no-look pass inside to Bulatovich and was broken up by Ram. Now Michael Lake will handle it. Bad turnover there as Ram for three. That skips off. Baltimore gets the rebound. Rebounds even now at 25 apiece. 56-42 Carthage. Baltimore with it at left wing. Inside it goes. Johnson on the left block. 6'11 Johnson. Turnaround baby hook. Good. Sean Johnson backing down Zarnecki that time in the paint. Double figures for Johnson now with 10. McGee top of the circle. Works it off to Lake. Driving around the Zarnecki screen. Cut off nicely by Best. Best doing a good job. Back into Zarnecki. Over Baltimore. Short. Rebound Bulanovic. He'll hand it off to Best. Another good job defensively for the Redmen. Now Kadrowski around the Johnson screen. Gives it to Bulanovic. Inside Johnson. Catch, release, no good. Too hard off the glass that time. Gets it down to Lake on the rebound to Rahm. Rahm going up over Best. Count it and one. Best left his feet. If he would have just stayed planted on the floor, probably wouldn't have got that foul call. As it is, it'll be a three-point play coming up for Samvit Rahm, the sophomore out of Buffalo Grove and Stevenson High School. Kadrowski out. Joshua Washburn in now for the Redmen. Wirtz will come back in. He will replace Taylor Heil. Rahm on the stripe for the and one. That one dances off the rim. Baltimore clears it out for the Redmen. So it's Best, Baltimore, Bulanovic, Johnson, and Washburn. Washburn on the right wing. Back up top to Johnson, reversing left side Best. Best on the drive left side. Goes up off the glass. Left it short. The rebound pulled in by Wirtz. 14-point Redmond lead as we approach 8 minutes to go, and a timeout taken by Rose-Hulman. Be a full timeout. We'll break as well. 8:03 to play. 58-44 Redmond on your home for Redmond Athletics. AM 1050 WLIP. Redmond have outscored the Engineers 20-16 here in the second half, and they lead it 58-44. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena. 8 minutes to go in this one. Redmond looking to get to 5-0 for the first time since the 01-02 season, the Final Four year. Zarnecki got around the defense. Johnson with the foul. Johnson, Baltimore, Bulanovic, Washburn, and Best for the Redmond. McGee and Lake, along with Callahan, Zarnecki, and Wirtz. Zarnecki on the line for two. Knocks it down. 10 points for Zarnecki. 2 for 3 at the line. Hits them both. Cuts the deficit to 12, 58-46. Best with it near side, works it to Baltimore. Baltimore, the one-hand shot got bumped, no call. Rebound pulled out of there by Rose-Hulman. Michael Lake with it, gives it off to McGee. Team's leading scorer held to just 8 points here in this one. Good defensive job by the Redmen tonight. With it is Lake, cut off by Best. Back out to McGee, jumper, barely drew iron. Johnson with the rebound. Washburn able to get just enough in front that time on a flyby. Now Bulanovic going up, and what do we have? Foul on the Engineers. On the Bulanovic drive down the left side. It's going to go on Lake. That is his first. And that will put Balatovich on the free throw line. Phillip missing the front end. Balatovich. 5 points here tonight, 2 for 6 from the floor. Goes 1 for 2. 59-46. McGee now will handle it in the backcourt with TJ Best on him. McGee now works it up top. Zarnecki works it off to Callahan. Callahan, top of the circle, penetrates, goes up with the right hand, lays it in. Tough shot there. He went around 2 different players. Last one there was Washburn. Did a good job. 11-point lead now for the Redmen, 59-48. Johnson works it off to Best. To Washburn. Left corner 3 on the way for Baltimore is good. A timeout taken by Carthage here with 6.5 minutes to play. Redmond will take a timeout. Timeout Carthage. See if it's a full, it'll be a full timeout. We'll break as well, Scott. 6:34 to play, 62-48. Back after this on AM 1050 WLIP. Good use of a timeout there for the Redmen as they try and get themselves collected here on defense. They'll bring Brad Perry in here, so it'll be Perry, Baltimore, Balatovich, Washburn, and Best. 6.5 minutes to play. Redmen lead it by 14. McGee going down and a foul call. Boy, it looked like he was falling on his own. Best just happened to be there and got called for the foul. Foul on TJ Best. That is his second. Shot clock resets to 20 as they get it in. McGee with it. Around the Zarnecki screen. Got his own pass back there. Now Zarnecki backing down. Working on Balatovich, and Balatovich with the foul. Left his feet. Tried to raise up that time, but left his feet that time and commits the foul, his second. That's the 7th on the Redmen. So now the Engineers into the bonus, but this will be 2 shots here for Zarnecki. Drops the first one in. 4 for 5 at the line, 12 points tonight for John Zarnecki out of Bettendorf, Iowa. Second one good as well. 2 for 2 that trip. Remains a 12-point lead here for the Redmen, 62-50. Clock approaching 6 minutes to go. Look inside for Perry. It's broken up by Wirtz, taken away by McGee, and McGee runs into Baltimore, and that'll be 1-1 now. Baltimore upset with himself there on that foul. That's his second, but it's the 8th team foul and puts a pretty good free throw shooter at the line in McGee. So McGee coming in was shooting at 70%, just 1 for 4 at the line. This will be the front end of 1-1, able to knock it down. This will be a chance to cut it to 10 here on this second attempt. Free throw missed. Rebound into the corner, picked up by Krishawn Cook. 62-51 Redmond, 5:55 to play. Led the entire way here as that ball deflected out by McGee. Carthage will retain possession. 22 on the shot clock here. They'll get a free throw line extended near side. Baltimore will trigger the inbound. Gets it into Cook. Cook, top of the circle. Works it off to Baltimore. Now to Balanovich, driving in right side. Shot rejected inside that time by Wirtz, and coming away with it, the Engineers. Chance to cut it to single digits here. McGee left alone for the jumper. That came up short. Rebound inside. Goes off of Callahan, out of bounds to Carthage. I think McGee was surprised by himself, too, that he was left open. Cook will bring it down. Gives it off to Balanovich. Top of the circle, Perry. Left side, Cook. Works off the Perry screen. Back out to Baltimore for three. Back iron miss. Nobody on the boards for the Redmen. McGee able to collect it. 9th board of the game for McGee. He leads his team in rebounding here. Back out to Wirtz, all alone for the triple. In and out, no good. Rebound Zarnecki. The stick back goes down. It's a 9-point game. 5-0 run here by the Engineers, and they brought it back to single digits, 62-53. And the few fans who made their way from Terryhout excited as Perry gets the pass inside and floats one to the basket. Brad Perry answers with 10. 64-53 Redmond. 4.5 to play. Michael Lake with it, back out to McGee. They'll spread the floor here with McGee middle of the floor. Works it off to the right side. Crossover dribble, deep three on the way. In and out, no good. Perry had the rebound, tied up. Possession arrow back to the Engineers. What do we got here? Officials stopping play here. They're going to give it back to the Redmen. Big break here for Carthage. That was a huge gift here for the Redmen. Like it was tied up, then they said the player was standing out of bounds, so they give the ball back to the Redmen here. Ooh. Huge break here for Carthage. Let's see if they can capitalize. Last couple years, those calls have gone against the Redmen. Balanovich spinning, left block, going glass, too hard. Rolled off. Then McGee tried to corral the rebound. It goes off of him out of bounds. Carthage possession underneath will reset the shot clock to 20. Now what do we have? Robert Dowling again is concerned about the stack in the paint. Ugh. 3:55 to go, 64-53 Redmond. Toss into Balanovich. Gives it off to Baltimore, back to Balanovich, and we got a foul on Johnson. Got tangled up inside with Wirtz. Sean Johnson the foul, that's his third. 9th team foul, player control foul, so no shots here. As the Engineers will put it in play. Kadrowski back in now for the Redmen. Kadrowski, Cook, Johnson, Baltimore, and Balanovich. McGee nearly turned it over on a dribble there as he got it across midcourt. Now to Wirtz. Redmond by 11 here. We got a whistle foul on Baltimore, and that'll be his fourth, make it his third. 10 team fouls, so now double bonus the rest of the way out for the Engineers with 3:35 to play. Rusty Lloyd still having a word with the officials over that last possession change. They gave the Redmen the opportunity here. Missing at the line was Callahan. First trip to the line. They've missed 8 free throws here in this ball game. Make it 9 as he missed them both. Johnson with the rebound. 7th board for Johnson to go with 10 points and 3 blocks tonight. 64-53 Redmond. Kodrowski to the free throw line. Gives it back up to Baladovic. Around to Cook. Works off the Baladovic screen. Bounce feed to Baltimore for 3 off the left wing. That one is short. Johnson with the rebound. Back out to Baladovic. We got a whistle and a travel on Baladovic. Going to try and drive that ball back to the basket, but then shuffled the feet. This will get Jacob Poglace in for the first time tonight. Poglace in for Baladovic. Three minutes to go, 64-53. And the ball went off of Wirtz out of bounds to the Redmen. Turnover, Rose-Hulman. They're 7th here in the second half and 13th of the game as Washburn will come in now, replacing Krishan Cook. So Washburn, Poglace, Johnson, Baltimore, and Kodrowski. Kedro with it high on the right. Works off the Baltimore screen, back out to Johnson. Wants the 3, gets the 3. Second triple of the game for Sean Johnson, 13 points. The lead back out to 14 with 2.5 to go. Big man showing a little range out there on that 3 ball. Zarnecki turnaround left shot good. Timeout, Rose-Hulman. They now have 2 remaining as Rose-Hulman trying to slow the game down to get back in, trailing by 12. It'll be a full timeout. We'll check some other scores in the CCIW. Elmhurst is up at Oshkosh today, and under a minute to go in that one, 88-85 Blue Jays. Dotlich with 22, but Jake Rohde taking over in the second half now. 31 for Rohde. Favorite with 12, Mahoney with 23, Favorite with 12 for Oshkosh. Again, 45 seconds to go in that one at Oshkosh, and it's the Blue Jays by 3 over the Titans. Just underway over in Carroll. 14th ranked Wabash taking on Carroll University. The championship game of their pre-Thanksgiving tournament, and the Little Giants lead the Pioneers 20-11. Halftime down at Lake Forest, Illinois Wesleyan leading Lake Forest 44-42. Just tipping down in Jacksonville, Illinois, Milliken at Illinois College. Later on at 7 o'clock tonight, Wheaton will play host to Olivet. Redmond facing pressure here in the backcourt. They get it into Poglace. Back to Baltimore. Baltimore, Poglace, Washburn, Johnson, and Kodrowski. Baltimore through traffic. Bounce feed to Johnson, low left. Missed the shot, got his own rebound, and slams it home. Got it wedged almost between the rim and the backboard on his initial attempt. Got it back and was able to finish. 15, and we got a travel by McGee. As he tried to run into Baltimore, lost his footing and turns it over with 2:01 to play. Redmond by 14 as Back will come in, replacing Wirtz. Again, full court pressure here, 1-3-1. Baltimore gets it in. We got a foul by McGee pushing Washburn. They've got some fouls to burn here, just the 4th team foul. Get it to Washburn, back to Baltimore. Keeps it middle of the floor with the dribble, lost it, it's loose in the backcourt. They dive for it, holding on to it. It'll be held ball, possession arrow back to Rose-Hulman. So the Engineers will get it back. Wirtz will come back in for offense here, replacing Back. Wirtz, Zarnecki, along with Callahan, McGee. As Wirtz coming down the lane, blocked by Johnson, but recovered by Zarnecki. He lays it up and in. Timeout taken by the Engineers. They have one remaining with 1:45 to play, and they've cut it to 12 here. So we'll reset it for you. 1:46 remaining, 69-57 Redmond. Redmond with 10 team fouls, so the Engineers in the double bonus. Engineers with just 4 team fouls. Carthage with 3 timeouts remaining. Rose-Hulman with 1, possession arrow favoring the Redmond. Again, they cut it to 9 here in the second half, midway through, but the Redmen have recovered. Built it out to 14, and they've been trading baskets since. Poglace now in the backcourt, got to get it across. At 3 seconds, now they do to Baltimore. Baltimore pulls it out now. 15 to shoot, 1:29 to go. Washburn guarded by McGee. McGee poked it away. Washburn picks it back up, 7 to shoot. Out near the center circle is Washburn. Gets around Zarnecki. Gets it to Poglace for 3 as time expires on the shot clock. They get the shot clock violation. So let's see what the Redmen do here defensively. They'll pressure here a little bit. Again, it's a 12-point game with 1:10 to play. McGee gets around Hertz and had it poked away by Baltimore, out of bounds. McGee will trigger right of the basket. Gets it inside to Callahan, goes up, missing, and we got an offensive foul. Poglace taking the charge. So back, coming back in. He will guard Poglace right of the basket. Poglace taking that charge inside that time as he got knocked down. Feet just outside the arc as now they dive for loose ball. Baltimore comes away with it. Trying to foul him. They got to call something there, my goodness. Mugging going on right below us here. 2 players trying to tangle Baltimore up. They finally call the foul on Back. That's his 3rd, just the 6th team foul with 49 seconds to go. They get it into Kodrowski, but he lost control of it, turning it over. Redmond with 15 turns here tonight, 8 here in the second half. Not quite the way you want to close this one out, but again, the Engineers with just 1 timeout remaining here. Get a good defensive stop here, and meal's going to taste good here. Oh, spin move by Wirtz, and they're going to bail him out with a foul. Looked like he walked. Foul's going to go on Keenan Baltimore, his 4th, but boy, it looked like Wirtz walked with the basketball on his way to the basket. Makes the front end. 13 for Wirtz. Back will replace Combs for defense here. Chance to cut it to 10 with this free throw. 38 seconds to play. It's going to come up short. Kodrowski with the rebound. He's tangled up right away by Wirtz. This will be 1-1 now for the Redmen the rest of the way out. Chance to close this one down right here. Combs back in for Back on defense here, or offense I should say, as Kodrowski will go to the line shooting the 1-1. 11 points tonight for Kedro. In free throws 2-1 in favor of Rose-Hulman tonight. Redmond 7 of 10. Rose-Hulman 11 of 20. Kudrowski nails the front end. One more for the senior. Out of Downers Grove. Knocks it down. 13-point advantage, 35 seconds to play. McGee out to Wirtz, 3 on the way. That one is good. They'll take their final timeout. 71-61, cuts the deficit to 10. And it's just a timeout just to substitute here. So Rose-Hulman out of timeouts. With 29 seconds to play, Carthage will inbound. Poglace gets it into Kudrowski, and he's fouled. 1-on-1 upcoming for Kudrowski. Got to credit the Redmen here. That's 4th foul on back. Got to credit this Rose-Hulman team. They have played hard right down to the final seconds here. As Kudrowski able to hit his 3rd straight free throw. He got it to single digits, got it down to 9, but Perry's basket brought it back to 11, and Carthage has been in double digits ever since. This will be a good victory here for the Redmen as Carthage will take a timeout here. 15 points for Kudrowski. We will keep it here with 27 seconds to play. Redmen looking to get to 5-0 for the first time since the Final Four season of 2001-2002. Their best start. Again, they'll have almost 2 weeks practice and get ready for North Central on December 4th here at the Tarble Arena. We'll have 2 conference games in early December, North Central and at Illinois Wesleyan. Home game against Elma, and then 2 games down in Puerto Rico before Christmas. Get everybody set. We'll get it into McGee. Final 25 seconds here. McGee back out. Combs driving in. Knocked away by Baltimore, out of bounds to the Engineers with 19 seconds to play. Nice job defensively tonight on their big scorer, McGee. 3 for 13 tonight, and don't foul there. Baltimore did, and he fouls out. Didn't need to foul there. You're up 12. So Baltimore fouling out with 17 points tonight. Baltimore gets to the bench. He says, I know, my bad. So Washburn's going to come in for Baltimore. Wirtz here at the line with 16. The only player in double figures tonight for this Engineer team. Check that, he and Zarnecki in double figures. 19 for Zarnecki, 16 for Wirtz. Second one in, goes 2 for 2. He will come out. Zarnecki will check back in. 10-point game with 15 seconds to play. Poglace just beat the 5-second count. They got it into Johnson to Best. Down the floor to Kudrowski. He'll circle back, and this one is in the books. The Redmen are 5-0 going into conference play as they knock off Rose-Hulman here tonight by a final of 73-63, the first 5-0 start by the Redmen since the 2001-2002 Final Four season. Your final here tonight, Carthage 73, Rose-Hulman 63. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back to run the numbers and visit with either Steve or Bosco following this 2-minute timeout. This is Carthage basketball on AM 1050 WLIP. Thank you, sir. Carthage basketball on AM 1050, brought to you in part by Mason's Eatery and Pub on Highway 50 west of Green Bay Road in Kenosha. Don't be a chain eater, eat at Mason's. By Building Waters Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, that's what they do, and don't forget refrigeration too. By Francetic Tax Resolution, don't get frantic, get Francetic, go to 262tax.com. By Luigi's Pizzeria on 39th Avenue, 2 blocks south of Highway 50 in Kenosha. By Something Different, a sports fan Fantasyland on 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. By the Berkshire Hathaway Epic Real Estate Company. By the Sinus and Snoring MD.com. Dr. Swerdlin with offices in Kenosha on Green Bay Road. By Ruffalo's 2 Family Restaurant on 45th Street in Kenosha. Lou Perini's Gas and Grocery, home of Mama P's Ho-Ho Cakes on Sheridan Road and 52nd Street. By Wingstop of Kenosha, located on Highway 50. By Vigiano Insurance Agency. Call Steve, he'll shop for your insurance needs. By S.J. Crystals Menswear, for the finest of men's fashions, it's clearly S.J. Crystals on the corner of 57th Street and 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. By Dickey's Barbecue Pit. By Westosha Sports Complex, Zero to Hero Conditioning. Visit them on the web at westoshasportscomplex.com. And by Triangle Flooring, Furniture, and Appliance Center. They're located at the intersection of Highway 50, Roosevelt Road, and 39th Avenue, inside that triangle in Kenosha. A rare wire-to-wire finish for the Redmen here tonight, as they led right from the get-go, never gave up the lead, and post a 10-point victory, 73-63, to run their record now to 5-0 on the season, their first 5-0 start since the 2001-2002 season that saw the Redmen go to the Final Four and finish 28-2 on that season. Carthage did it by defense here tonight. They limited the Engineers to just 39% shooting in the first half, 43% in the ball game. They took away their leading scorer, Craig McGee. A lot of press on McGee coming out of that Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. He was a preseason All-American honorable mention by D3 News. And, of course, his freshman season named a D3Hoops.com Great Lakes Freshman Player of the Year in 2018. Two-time All-Conference player. And the Redmen, combination of guard play and the length by the Redmen inside kept McGee at bay. McGee finishing with just 9 points, almost half of his season average. He collected 10 rebounds and had 5 assists, but he did not damage the Redmen handling the basketball tonight. Meanwhile, the Redmen, they post 4 players in double figures, led by Keenan Baltimore tonight. Baltimore with 17 points, 7 of 16 from the field, including a 3-pointer, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Fouled out here in the final minutes of this one tonight, but another strong performance by Baltimore. Got off to a little bit of a slow start on the offensive end of things here, the first 3 ball games, but these last couple of games, Baltimore has started to put it together, and they will need him, obviously, going into conference play in 2 weeks. Sean Johnson with 15 tonight, just a rebound shy of a double-double. 15 points, 9 boards for Johnson tonight. Jordan Kondrowski with 15 tonight as well. Kondrowski 15 points and 3 boards to go with 1 assist and 2 steals tonight. The assist not so accommodating tonight. Night after the Redmen had 34 helpers. Carthage with just 12 tonight as a team. Brad Perry with 10 points, 5 rebounds for Perry tonight. Those are your 4 players in double figures for the Redmen tonight. It was John Zarnecki with 19, Trey Wirtz with 18 to pace the way for the Engineers. Again, in the second half, Rose-Hulman 12 of 25, 48%, 2 of 8 from the arc, and 9 of 17 from the line. For the game, Engineers go 43%, 23 of 53. 3-point shooting, not there either, 4 of 15, just 26%. And the foul line differential, they went 13 of 23. They actually made 13, while the Redmen only attempted 14 tonight. Carthage going 11 of 14 from the line. Meanwhile, the splits for the Redmen tonight, 43% in the second half, 13 of 30. 3 of 8 from the arc, 6 of 7 from the line. For the game, Redmen 50%, 29 of 58. They were 4 of 14 from the arc and 11 of 14 from the free throw line. As they pick up the win here tonight, their 5th straight to go to 5-0, 73-63. Joined now by assistant coach Steve Jurkovic. Excellent win tonight here, and I thought it was the defensive effort tonight that was the difference.
We guarded really well. Their point guard McGee can really play. I think he was a rebound short or an assist short of a triple-double last night in an up-tempo game. This one was more of a grind it out, and you know you're going to get that against them. They are so efficient in the half court on both ends of the floor. They rarely foul. They're always in the right spot, so they make you work for every basket you're going to get. But defensively, I thought it was a really solid effort.
Combination of the guards and your length inside between Perry and Johnson.
I think it did a good job. Obviously, that makes a little bit of difference, having a few inches on both of their bigs, but they were able to stretch us out a little bit. They made a few shots. Zarnecki off the bench was a load. He really gave us some fits, and like I said, we worked so hard to make sure 15 had to earn everything he got, and he still ended up with his 9 points, 10 boards, 5 assists. He's a heck of a player.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one for that Heartland Conference. This team, no slouch. They're going to go back. They're challenged that league. They're picked to finish 3rd. They're going to give teams fits in that Heartland Conference.
I believe it. They play so smart on both ends of the floor. Again, they make you earn everything you're going to get. We didn't shoot particularly well from the perimeter because they run you off well, and they just are physical enough to ride you off the block. And I really like their program. Coach Lloyd does an awesome job with them, and we'll be rooting for them the rest of the year.
Thought you guys got stressed a little bit there about midway through. They finally broke through, got it down to single digits, but you guys responded, got a good offensive look, and were able to finish that one off, get it back to 11, and really never challenged after that.
We called a quick timeout in the second half when they went on a little 5-0 run, and that was more our effort level that was not where it needed to be. And we really bounced back after that timeout, scored, I think, the next 6, got a few big stops, and got a few in transition, which we always need to get. And I think that set the tone and sort of kept it in that 10-12 range for the rest of the game.
And you forced 15 turns tonight, and you turned that into 18 points, and that's always the key there. I think when you can cash in with points off those turns and make something out of them, that'll help either add to or stretch that lead out.
I agree. Krishawn Cook did not do a good job on the offensive end as much shooting-wise, but he was so effective defensively. He really got a few looks for us that we needed. That first 9 minutes of the second half was the best he's played since he's been here. So that's exciting moving forward. And we got a little time off before we see North Central in a week and a half.
And pointing out, Cook, was 4 assists, I think, all came in the second half. He wasn't shooting it particularly well, so he was helping his other teammates
find something
out.
else to do, and he does that. He can attack. He's still got a little bit of a burst to get in the lane, find other people. He's a smart player, and once his shot starts falling, he's going to be a different weapon as well on the offensive end.
So now an extended break, if
Yes.
you will. Now there's some good ends, there's some bad with that.
Yep.
But, hey, you guys matched the intensity. I think that was the key coming out here tonight, was matching the intensity, because that's the final game of what will be almost a 2-week stretch without basketball, and then you get back on it with North Central December 4th.
I think the guys noticed that. They're going to come back on Monday. We'll have 3 days before Thanksgiving break, give them a couple days off, and get back to work. They're excited. They're ready to get North Central to start conference. Obviously, they're picked to win it, and they're a heck of a team led by some veteran players that have been here for a long, long time, it feels like, with Raritan, Capoletti, Meredith, all of those, Chang, all of those guys. So we're excited to get going again.
And they get this Rose-Hulman team on Monday night, so they've got if they were watching tonight, they got a free scout on how to play this team. But again, I think this is going to be a fun league this year. I think the CCIW is going to be rather interesting. The competitive balance between the top half of this league is going to be very tight.
I agree, and there's some teams that are showing really well. Elmhurst got a win today at Oshkosh. I mean, they're playing as well as anybody in the league right now. Carroll's starting off very hot. Wheaton, with missing a few guys, still playing very, very well. So top to bottom, I think the league is really, really good, and it's going to be a battle every night in.
Hey, before we let you go, a big thank you to Corey Wilson and the folks at Honda of Kenosha for setting up this classic again this year, coming through as the title sponsor. They've really done a nice job here helping you out. They're going to help out with the holiday high school tournament coming up at the end of December. So, hey, they deserve some props here for stepping up and getting involved in the community.
Absolutely. Here. Corey Wilson, been at Honda Kenosha now for the last 10 years. A huge supporter of Carthage and our athletics program. Former basketball player, former coach here for many years. And we just really thank him for all the support. And it was a huge help this weekend with a lot of teams coming through and a lot of people in and out of the building.
Good competitive balance. Finlandia kind of stretching that one into overtime. They ended up playing overtime with only 4 players. They have nothing to hang their head about. They gave Aurora everything tonight.
Played fantastic, and that just shows you got to come out and be ready to play every day, no matter the opponent. And they were down after last night's game, and wow, did they play hard with more effort than the other team tonight or this afternoon? And had a shot to win it in the regulation. And you never know. That's why you play the games.
Well, now like I said, you got 2 weeks off. You said you're going to give them tomorrow off, get back at it hard for 3 days, a couple of days off for Thanksgiving, and then it's all focused on North Central.
We should be prepared. They're a veteran team. I think we know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do, and it's going to be a battle. So ready for the 4th and start off conference play in the right way.
You and your family, Bosco and Becky and the family, have a very good Thanksgiving. Enjoy it, huh?
You as well.
Save me some turkey, huh?
Absolutely, we'll do.
All right.
Mr. Weiser, thank you.
You're welcome. Steve Jurakovic, assistant coach here at Carthage College, coming up for our post game tonight. We appreciate that. Redmond with a 73-63 victory. As we look at some of the numbers here, points in the paint tonight, it was Rose-Hulman a 32-30 advantage. Carthage 18 points to 10 for Rose-Hulman off the turnovers. And flip the script here. Rose-Hulman getting the 27 points off the bench here, a 13-point advantage over the Redmond. But Carthage hung in there. Like I said, Rose-Hulman gave them a charge in that second half, got it down to 9, called a timeout after that 5-0 run, got their act together, got a nice set play, finished it, got it back up to 11. Redmond were never challenged after that, finishing a 10-point victory, 73-63. So the Redmen at 5-0 for the first time since the 01-02 year. That was a very special year for this program. So now they sit at 5-0. A couple other games going on right now. They've reached halftime up at Carroll. 14th ranked Wabash taking on Carroll. It's the Little Giants 44, the Pioneers 32. Down at Lake Forest, 5 minutes into the second half, it's a 8-point game. Illinois Wesleyan on top of Lake Forest, 61-53. And the upset again in Oshkosh today, it was Elmhurst over UW Oshkosh, 97-92, handing the Titans their second consecutive loss. And so the Titans finished that first 4-game swing through the CCIW at 2-2. They knocked off the top 2 teams, but it was the 2 middle teams, Elmhurst and Carthage, expected to battle for the 4, 5, and 6 spot in the for the conference tournament. Able to get UW Oshkosh today, and it was the Blue Jays 97, Oshkosh 92. Jake Rohde with 34 points. He was 11 of 17 from the floor, and it was 26 for Derek Dotlich. It was 25 for Will Mahoney. Jack Flynn with 16 as the Blue Jays dispatched the Titans tonight by a score of 97-92. Well, our next Redmond broadcast will be December 4th as they will take on North Central here at home. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip on Wednesday, December 4th. Carthage and North Central conference game number 1. Our next broadcast here on 1050 WLIP will be Tuesday night, a 7 o'clock tilt. The Lady Reds taking on UW Stevens Point. The Reds falling at Ripon today, 57-54. That'll wrap things up here from the Tarble Arena. Big thank you to John Voinovich, also to his staff here tonight, Brandon Kirchhoff, Lily Peterson, Taraya Sharrow, A.K. Engelson, Marie Robinson, and Elena Sullivan, all working camera, graphics, replay, directing our video stream here at Carthage College. These are all students who are doing this on the side, helping John Voinovich out. Now, John and his staff do a fantastic job bringing you this video stream. I thank you to them. Big thank you to Scott DeLabio, engineering our broadcast back at our Pleasant Prairie studios once again, as he'll join us on Tuesday night for that UW Stevens Point matchup. Until Tuesday, have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Carthage Redmond basketball, heard exclusively on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha. Good night, everyone.